A little more Laban coming our way today. His response to Jacob's, I guess you would call it, Mount Vesuvius eruption is a very interesting one. Because if you remember, Laban has chased them down. He has accused Jacob of stealing, which he did not do. Rachel did take the household idols, but Jacob didn't and didn't even know about it. So here it comes. Jacob vents all these things, and Laban's reply comes in verse 43. It says, Then Laban replied to Jacob, These women are my daughters, and these children are my grandchildren, and these flocks are my flocks. In fact, everything you see is mine. What a guy. What a guy. All these years of service. All of these things. He says that even Jacob's children are his. He says, But what can I do now about my daughters and their children? So come, let's make a covenant, you and I, and it will be a witness to our commitment. Laban backed down. He knew he didn't have a leg to stand on here. Verse 45. So Jacob took a stone and set it up as a monument. And this was a really common thing in this time. They would take and pile stones, or maybe just one large stone, and it would be set in this certain spot. And it would be like the reminder. It was like the copy of the contract when people make a covenant. Because at the end of the day, a covenant is really, for them, it was just a contract, was what it was. And so they make a contract between each other. So Jacob took his set up as a monument. Then he told his family members, gather some stones. So they gathered stones and piled them in a heap. And then Jacob and Laban sat down beside the pile of stones to eat a covenant meal. That too was a common practice. You know, we go to the bank to sign off on a loan. You know, everybody, you sign your name, 500 times. You buy a house, you feel like, you're signing your whole life away forever and a day because you write your name 500 times. Well, what they would do, they would sit down and actually have a meal. And that was one of the ways that these kinds of covenants would be kind of signed, sealed, delivered. Verse 47, to commemorate the event, Laban called the place Jagar Sahadutha, which means witness pile in Aramaic. And Jacob called it Gilead, which means witness pile in Hebrew. Then Laban declared, This pile of stones will stand as a witness to remind us of the covenant we have made today. This explains why it was called Gilead, witness pile. But it was also called Mizpah, which means watchtower. For Laban said, May the Lord keep watch between us to make sure that we keep this covenant when we are out of each other's sight. So if you mistreat my daughters, or if you marry other wives, God will see it. And even if no one else does, he is a witness to this covenant between us. So here's this guy Laban. Everything's mine. I mean, no, it wasn't. It was Jacob's. It was all Jacob's. It was his family. It was his children. It was his flocks that he had raised. But no, Laban's a greedy joker, and Laban wants everything. So he's basically saying, it's all mine, but out of the kindness of my heart, I'll allow you to keep it. Well, thanks for letting me keep what I raised, bought, earned, grew. Thank you for letting me keep my family. Appreciate it. What a guy. Awful. And in effect, this pillar and the name Mizpah, watchtower, it literally meant, if you come on my side of the pile, you come on my side of this, I'll kill you. That's what Laban was saying. He was saying, you go your way and don't you ever come back. This will sit as the place, as our boundary. You stay on your side, I'll stay on mine. Jacob was perfectly happy with that. It wasn't a nice sentiment. It was almost a threat. But Jacob just wanted to go home. So he was perfectly comfortable with this. Yeah, I'm not coming back on your side for anything. You stay over there, I'll stay over here. And that's where they left it. And it was a tough parting. And there'll be just a little bit more tomorrow. See you soon.